It is Friday, which means it's time to take a look at what's at the movies.
Yeah, Michael Cook is here. We're going to look at The Invisible Man and Seberg.
Yes, let's talk about The Invisible Man first. This stars Elizabeth Moss. At the beginning of the film, we see she's in an abusive relationship that she escapes from. She's in a relationship with a very wealthy inventor. She flees his beautiful mansion and hides out at a friend of her sister's. Well, this is not giving it away because it's part of the plot point. Her ex-boyfriend she fled from commits suicide and leaves her a bunch of money. And so, of course, things seems heading down the right path. She's starting to come into her own. She's getting past the psychological abuse she endured. But then all of a sudden, it seems like he is back in some form or fashion, hence the Invisible Man. And she, Elizabeth Moss's character, starts descending into madness because, of course, nobody believes her. Nobody believes that there's an invisible man in the room with her, stalking her, moving things around. And it's brilliant on how Elizabeth Moss' character just slowly gets crazier because nobody believes her. Nobody can, fathom this concept that, is the guy still alive? Is he not still alive? Is this a ghost? I mean, so all these things happen, and she gets blamed for whatever happens. If things move, somebody gets punched, it's Elizabeth Moss' character that gets blamed. And this movie, it's a part thriller, part psychological thriller, a little bit of sci-fi and horror, all rolled up into one, and is utterly fantastic in terms of how it slowly unfolds, and you see the deviousness of the plan and what has actually happened. Of course, I will not give anything away.
Really interesting.
But clearly there is some kind of invisible man following and stalking her. I liked on how in scenes where all you saw was the shot of an empty corner, and it still made you feel incredibly tense and worried.
So did you get the chills in this?
You got the chills, you got the thrills, you got everything you'd want in a movie like this, which is why I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Well, she's a fantastic actress.
Fantastic. She's always very good.
She's a great actress.
The next movie to talk about is actually about an actress called, it's a movie called Seberg. It's based on the true story of an actress from the 1950s and 60s called Jean Seberg. She was an American, but she was very famous in the French New Wave films. This movie tells a snippet of her life story where in the late 1960s she becomes an activist and starts giving money to the Black Panther movement, NAACP. And the FBI starts tailing her and following her, eavesdropping on her as she gets more politically active. And in fact, it sort of told us two stories. It's her story in terms of, kind of becoming an activist, while at the same time, Jack O'Connell is the FBI agent, the newcomer who's been tasked with tailing her and wiretapping her phones. Kristen Stewart plays Jean Seberg, of course, from Twilight fame and other. She's a fantastic actress as well. And you see, this is a true story, so you could see, sadly, on what the FBI did to this young woman really affected her mental case, because she was being bugged and followed, and of course nobody believed her. The story is very interesting. Unfortunately, the movie itself was a bit dull. It just sort of kind of plodded along. There was no, big moments. There was just sort of, it got a little bit dull, even though the performances were fantastic. Kristen Stewart, I think, is just going to be around for the next 30, 40 years because she is so amazing. But the story overall is kind of blah. I didn't actually know anything about Jean Seberg or her story, so I was interested to learn more about it. But all in all, I give this movie a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
So, not that great of a movie. If you're in the mood for the movie, I think The Invisible Man is the one to see this weekend.
Certainly seems like it'll keep you on the edge of your seat.
Definitely.
Cool. All right, thanks.